Nation, we're back. Yo, salute to everybody here in the building. Welcome to the latest installment of the Graphk and Wasted, or the Wasted and Graph Show. We are your host, Graphk Raider. I got my big bro.
And the enigmatic Wasted Talent. I've been sick. We are back. We are ready to rock and roll. Guys,
and we have a goat. We got a goat in the building too, our brother, Mitchell Renz, fresh off that 14-hour live. Hey, how's that tap feeling right now, bro?
Honestly, man, it feels a lot better today than it did yesterday. I woke up probably on, would have been Saturday morning after everything, and I was probably the stiff as I've been in a long time. I almost called a doctor. It was that bad, man. My leg was hurting.
You thugged that out, bro. I got to be honest, bro, to go live that long and be able to just act as though nothing is going on. Hey, salute to you, bro, because I know that was some pain.
Bro, I know. You know when I knew he was hurt? The second day when I was on with him.
When you were on with Chugs.
When I was on with Chugs, he was hurting, bro. He wasn't on the screen for like a good while.
Like this, bro. His leg was like this. Was shaking.
Bro, I was like, holy shit, man.
When you were on is when they were working on my kneecap, on the top of my kneecap, and my kneecap's freaking jiggling like back and forth. That was a gnarly pain. They were like, hey, the back of the leg's even worse. I was like, looks like I'm getting only the front done. So, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I'll probably get it later, but I'm good for now.
Salute to our brother Mitch, man. Officially in the Raider Tattoo Club. I love it. That shit is fire. I'm gonna be honest. There's not too many tattoos that can compare to that. That is goated. Salute to you, my brother. Salute to everybody else also in the building. Shout out to Kenny Mack. I appreciate you on the $5 donation. Shout out to Mongo as well on the $2 donation. We're gonna have some fun here today, you guys. We have talked about everything Raider related. And for those who do not know or are new to the channels, it's Mitch, me, Wasted, Hammer, Shillmore, we have literally talked Raiders football all off season. I don't think that there's anything that we have not talked about, right? We've turned over every rock when it came to the offseason. Thank God football.
No stone has been left unturned in Raider.
There you have it.
Turned over every stone, every rock, every pebble, all the dirt. There's nothing left.
But now, okay, because I'm not too familiar with this stuff. So I love to do these kind of shows because Wasted hit me up and said, look, I want to do something different. You know, like we're in Vegas now. You know, there's the betting capital of the world. You know what I mean? We need to start tackling some of this stuff. I know a lot of people are interested in whether it's fantasy football or betting in Las Vegas. So Waste is going to put me up on some game today. I know Mitch is familiar with this. I know they do prop bets and stuff like that over on Chat Sports. So salute to them as well. I'm new to this, so I'm actually excited to sit back and listen to my brothers talk while I kind of just put some things on the screen and I can kind of, get initiated into this. So salute to everybody who's in the chat right now. We're already over 230 deep on my channel. I don't know where we are on Wasted, but we salute you guys for being here. And before we do this, hit that subscribe button, wipe them feet, pay your bar tab. And also, real quick, Mitch, for those who are living,
they're a rock.
Living in a rock. Where do they follow you at real quick, brother?
You guys can hit me up on YouTube. You can look me up, Raiders Report, Mitchell Renz. Either one is going to show up. Hit that subscribe button. And then Instagram, Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365. I make a lot of Raiders content myself, just like these two guys. So check it out.
There you have it. And we appreciate all the work you guys are putting in over there. If anybody in the chat would love to put Mitch's link in, we would definitely appreciate you guys. Spread it around. Let everybody know where to follow our brother at. Shout to the Mokes as well. What up, nation? I'm drinking the hype drink. We winning the Super Bowl. Let's go. Salute to the Mokes. I love the optimism, my brother. Shout to you, man. All right, so Wasted. Let the nation know. What are we doing today?
All right, today what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the week one odds through the whole NFL docket, and then we're gonna give you guys a couple of prop bets. Just some stuff for all my sick puppies out there to get their gambling sheet right. We're gonna break down, give you a little information about the odds, what we think, our predictions. This is just strictly our predictions. This is something that you can either take and use for yourself or not. But we do not in any way guarantee any results. This is nothing to where, we want any of you guys saying, hey, man, I just gambled away my house and wasted Graphk. Mitch, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Just strictly our opinions. You can take it and run with it or not.
Definitely.
Daniel, start with it, man.
We're definitely talking about some parlays. We're definitely talking about all that good stuff. So stay tuned. Where do you want to start at, brother? So we got NFL betting odds up, and we also have the NFL sports. Which one you want to run with right now?
I want to go for the week one betting odds, man. I want to start with the first game of the season with the defending champion, Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, let me see. Let me see. I think it's this one right here. Is it this one?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
Boom.
sir.
So there you have it. Everybody right here. Here goes Mitch's link for his show as well. So make sure you guys hit that link and go subscribe to our brother. Get him up to 150K ASAP before the season starts.
Golly, man. I mean, look, I couldn't even imagine, bro. Couldn't even imagine, man. But look,
I would tell you size doesn't matter, wasted, but you probably use that more than I can count.
No, Mitch. Listen. In my personal life, I totally understand that size definitely matters.
I definitely do as well. So,
size definitely matters. They're just that you just can't hit if you're not in a certain neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, man. There's sometimes out there. That's why I learned how to tickle the notification bell. So.
There you go.
My dog, Mitch, man.
That is hilarious.
Look, we got to start 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time, September 7th, man. The Kansas City Chiefs are playing the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are one of the most overhyped teams by the NFL media this year, man. People got these guys winning that division, going away and going very far in the playoffs. And we got a over and under of 54 points in that game. That means that they think it's going to be between the both teams, over or under. What do you think? It's going to be a shootout. And they have the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs as a 6.5 point favorite, an under touchdown favorite, almost a touchdown. And I'm going to be real with you. For myself, this is the best game. If you're going to take your money and put it on any team this week, you got to go with the defending champion, Kansas City Chiefs, to win this by more than a touchdown, man. I mean, look, the Detroit Lions have done a overhaul. They're very promising, but let's not forget, man, Patrick Mahomes is going 5-0 probably 3 times in his career. The Kansas City Chiefs are the gold standard in the National Football League. They're going to have a high-scoring offense, and look for Kadarius Toney to break out in this game. I don't think there's going to be any Super Bowl hangover here.
What if I told you Tony's still dealing with a lingering injury, right? So
he was at practice today, but
he was. He's going to play. He'll play week 1, but still he's still dealing with a lingering injury. Sky Moore was kind of underwhelming for them last year. I do believe he takes that next step this year. They had a nice little draft class. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to take them a little time to get that offense going. Wasted. I agree with you in the sense of the spread. I agree with you. What do you think about the over/under, Mitch? Like on that, you said the over was what is it?
The over under 54 points.
I mean, I'll always say week 1 is the most difficult week in the NFL to bet on, and it's kind of shitty advice for what we're doing right now. But to be honest with you, I usually stay away from a lot of week 1 odds unless I'm really, really confident in certain things. And if there's one thing that I'm confident in, which sucks for Raider fans, is that Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense is going to churn. Also, Detroit last year had one of the worst defenses in the National Football League. Typically, week 1, you see teams, they got to get the rust off a little bit, pre-game jitters for some of those younger players. I usually bet more unders in the very first week of the NFL season. But right now, for the Chiefs to be a 6.5 point favorite, I think that they beat the Detroit Lions by more than a touchdown. So I would take the over still because of Kansas City. And the Lions offense is no joke either. They have a good offense. I don't think Chris Jones is going to be playing in this game. So I would take the over on the 54.5, and I would also take Kansas City to cover the 6.5.
I agree. I totally agree. I still think it's going to take a little time for KC to get to really clicking. I mean, look last year. They started off kind of slow on the offensive side of the ball. It took them a little minute to get rolling. And, there's so many moving parts on that O-line. Orlando, he's gone. It's going to take some time for them to get. But I definitely agree. I think they take the over on the 54. Yeah, I agree with what Mitch said. And Wasted, to be honest with you, this is probably that game would be the one to take that bet.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you.
Yeah, this is to me, this is the safest bet in the NFL. The one thing that you can kind of pencil in is the Kansas City Chiefs are chalk. There are certain teams where, there's so much parity in the National Football League. The Kansas City Chiefs are one of those teams that don't have a lot of parity. They are pretty much the same organization, the same head coach, same quarterback. You always go with the better quarterback and coach combination, and there's none better in the National Football League than the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. Even though I want to throw up in my mouth when I say that, it is what it is. So this is the game. This is the safest bet. This is a wasted talent safe bet of the week right here.
I think it's easiest. You can look at both those offenses and see that they could put up a 30-burger quick and easy. I mean, that's pretty, unless, Detroit, they have some guys that's out, receivers. So they may run the ball heavy. They got Gibbs. They got David Montgomery. They may run the ball a lot. So, but KC may still be able to match that by themselves.
Yeah. See, the thing about it is, Graphk, is Chris Jones is the outlier. Is Chris Jones going to be playing? So
Neil high stakes, thick frame Farrell, brother.
Yeah, well, look, he's no longer a Raider, so I can be honest about him. They're going to run the ball down their goddamn throats. So this is the thing, man. The reason why I'm taking the over with the 54 points, I can see the Detroit Lions laying 28 on Kansas City very, very easily because of the fact that, Dan Campbell is an old school, Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, 3 yards in a cloud of dust kind of a head coach. He will run the ball down the Kansas City Chiefs' throat. And you're gonna definitely see them. You're gonna get a heap and help into their backfield. So they're gonna open that up. Jared Goff's one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League off of the play action pass. It's going to open their offense up. But I just don't see Jared Goff winning a duel with Patrick Mahomes. So I think it is going to be a shootout. I'm going to take the over on the 54 points.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's going to be probably one of the best games of this week. It can go, to be honest with you, Detroit. What they win? I think they won 8 games in a row to end the season, right?
8 out of their last 10.
Yeah, there you have it. So, and they got Detroit is a team to keep an eye on this season. They built that defense up a little bit in the offseason. Look, that team can get it done. I like their coaching staff. They believe in their coach. We shall see. They're still the Detroit Lions, though, until they're not. There you have it. Salute to Perk Angle. That name hits so much more now when you watch the documentary. I watched it last night. Salute to Perk Angle. 90% of gamblers quit right before they're about to hit big. I'm wanted by the IRS for tax fraud. Salute to Perk Angle in the building. All right, let's get rolling, man. We got the Texans and the Ravens. What you got for us right here, Wasted?
All right, we got the worst team in the National Football League being 10-point dogs to the Baltimore Ravens with a returning Lamar Jackson who has a huge chip on his shoulders. The Baltimore Ravens, this is another big one right here. The Baltimore Ravens, I see the Baltimore Ravens dog walking in Houston Texans.
Okay.
The Baltimore Ravens, man, if you look at it, Lamar Jackson is going to go out there to prove that big contract that he got. They've been playing without him. We've watched this team make the playoffs without him. They're going to be at full strength. They've made a lot of improvements on the offensive side of the football. They went out there, got him weapons, Odell Beckham Jr.
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. Mm-hmm. This is going to be an explosive game for the Baltimore Ravens. The Houston Texans, listen, they've gone out there. They got Will Anderson, good young pass rusher. But all up and down that defense, they've let go veterans all up and down that defense. They're going with the youth movement.
Yep.
I think that the Baltimore Ravens win this game going away. You got to go with the favorites. We got an over and under of 43.5 points. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to take the under. I have very, very, very little faith that the Houston Texans are going to score over 14 points in this game.
I agree. I think that pass rush is going to be pretty nice for the Texans. They got John Simpson starting over there in Baltimore, you guys. You know what I mean? So, look, I don't know how good that O-line is, but with him out there as a starter, and Will Anderson, I'm hearing really good things about him. I spoke to Denzel Perryman. He said that dude is out there killing it. right now with the Texans, man. Shout out to our boy Chuz, too. I know he's out there covering the Texans as well over at Chat Sports. I'm hearing really good things about that pass rush. So I don't know, man. I'm definitely going with the under, though. The Texans aren't going to put up – they're not going to put up anything. To be honest, Stroud has been struggling. I don't know if he's going to get it done against this defense in week 1. I'm with you on that, Wasted. What you got for us, Mitch?
So last year I was looking, the Houston Texans were 8-1 against the spread. The Ravens were 9-9 against the spread. I will admit, 10 points is a lot of points, and I am a big fan of DeMeco Ryans, and I'm kind of a big fan of just how I think he's going to try to use that overall defense. I will admit that the Baltimore Ravens are the better team, and because they are at home, I will take Baltimore to cover. But I'm also going to agree with you guys. I'm going to take the under just because I know C.J. Stroud's the hype man there in Houston. He hasn't looked good. I see two teams really trying to run the football. We know Baltimore's going to run it. We know that Houston – I think a lot of people think Houston's going to air it out, but they got Dameon Pierce, and I think they're a lot more of a run team than what people are going to actually think. So I'm going to keep it a lower scoring game. I do think the Ravens end up covering. But usually this is going against one of my big rules here where if I'm going to take anything under like 44 points is usually if I'm taking the under on 44, I usually don't go with like that 10-point spread. Like that's a tough thing to be able to do. But I also don't think that the Texans are the worst team in the NFL. The worst team in the NFL this year to me is going to be Arizona. Because I think that they're going to try to be the worst team. Yeah. But the Ravens should win this game. They should be able to win by 10-plus points, and it could even come down to kicking, and they got the best kicker in the league.
If Baltimore continues to do what they always do, they're going to run the ball heavy. I know that there's a lot of talk as of late of them changing up the O a little bit, trying to protect Lamar a little bit more. You know, we shall see. I do like Dameon Pierce a lot. I like Tank Dell a lot, but it's going to take a little bit for those guys to get it moving out there. They're a few drafts away from really getting it all together. And I do like Ryans as well, Mitch. I talked to my guy Graphk, man. He covers the Niners, and shockingly, I asked him how that defense looks without him. And he said, a lot of people don't know this, but Shanahan is the guy that's responsible for that defense. That's why that defense continues to thrive year in and year out, because he brings guys in and says, this is how I want it ran, simple and plain. And he's getting guys head coaching jobs all over the NFL year in and year out. We see Robert Salah. We see it every damn year pretty much at this point. So I think it's going to take a little more time for the Texans to get moving. I thought initially they would be one of those surprising teams because of how bad, their division is. But yeah, I'm taking the under for sure on this, man. It may be a run heavy, game, and I don't know. This may be one of them ugly games in week 1. Ugly. So, but we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, look, and also keep in mind, you have some key injuries with the Texans, man. Tyus Howard is going to be out. Yeah. Blake Cashman's going to be out, and also, I can't pronounce this kid's name, but Dare Ogbin. Well, I can't pronounce the kid's name. I know what you're talking about. Let
me ask you: Is Mechie playing for the Texans? He's back as well, right? John Mechie coming off the cancer and all that, the scare and all that.
From what I understand, he's back. You know what I'm saying?
They got some nice young talent over there. It's just going to take some time for them to develop that.
Yeah. The problem is when you talk about the Baltimore Ravens, like you got to realize something. The Baltimore Ravens have two of the best tackles in the National Football League, and even though they have John Simpson starting, Will Anderson's going to go up against probably, to me, probably the third best tackle in football, and Ronnie Stanley. Yeah. So he's not going to have –
when healthy, he's a dog.
Yeah, so and he's going to be healthy. It's the beginning of the season. He's going to have a problem, and with the Texans, man, they don't really have a lot more talent up and down that defense. Yeah. This is going to be a bloodbath in Baltimore. This is Lamar Jackson's coming home party. This is going to be a bloodbath.
Okay, I like that. Shout out to Soul Assassin. We're waiting on a few more guys to sign up for the league. We're waiting on Halo. We're waiting on Big Mike, Stu, a few other guys, but we will definitely do a live for the fantasy. They talked me into it. I didn't want to do fantasy football this season.
Yeah, look, I'm still, kind of. I really don't want to play fantasy football. Yeah, there's been a couple of leagues I've turned down because I don't have the time and I don't like to do anything half-assed.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's get to this next one, man. Buccaneers at the Minnesota Vikings. How are we feeling about this one right here, Wasted?
This is another bloodbath. Another bloodbath, man. Now, what we got here, we got the Minnesota Vikings as pretty much a touchdown favorite, 6-point favorite. Mm-hmm. Over under 45.5 points. I'm going to take the under on points. To be honest with you, I can't see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers being able to string together 21 points at all. I can't see it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in a precarious situation because the quarterback play is so bad down there. And what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did was when Tom Brady was there, they sold out for a championship. And now the team is in dire straits financially. The roster is in trouble. They have a terrible, terrible roster down there.
Oh, yeah. Tampa Bay, despicable. But you know what? What if I told you that Minnesota can match that right there by themselves? What if I told you Jordan Addison has a crazy game? These guys have a great receiving core. You know what I mean? They did get rid of Dalvin Cook. He's getting up there in age. The injuries were piling up for him out there in Minnesota. They're still going to run the ball. But Kirk, this is, I think, finally the true year where he'll be a free agent next year, right? Yeah. like finally. I think he's going to go out there, and this year, Kirk's going to have a surprisingly good year. He'll probably end up being a Niner next year. Watch. It's probably going to happen. They want him over there. Shanahan wants his hands on Kirk. Pause if necessary. But that offense may still fly. The defense was so disgusting for him last year. That's what really killed them last year. But I'm going to be honest with you. I have to agree. I have to agree.
Look, now this is the only caveat, right? And I don't mean to backtrack, but this mediocre defense for the Minnesota Vikings is a huge matchup for Baker Mayfield. He impressed in the preseason in some ways. Mike Evans wants out. Chris Godwin's going to be there, and they got that rookie speedster Trey Palmer coming up. Mayfield may be able to benefit from an upgraded offensive coordinator.
They just lost their starting center. I think Ryan Jensen pretty much going to retire at this point. You know what I mean? That O-line is still a little beat up. I think that he died, man. I think that he dies in week 1, bro. They still got Daniel Hunter. After all the talks of them trying to trade him as well, they still got some nice pass rusher. Got some pass rushing ability up there in Minnesota. Yeah, man. I don't know if Tampa Bay puts up more than 10 points.
Yeah. See, the only thing is, I don't think Brian Flores' aggressive scheme is going to be able to cover up all of the holes in the Vikings defense. I think they get close to covering. I don't think that it's going to be to where, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't going to be able to score at all. I just don't see them covering based off of the fact that, look, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to have a problem stringing together, 21 points, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. What you got, Mitch?
Yeah, I think, we've been talking a lot from the Raiders side with second year in Patrick Graham's system, and, you're hoping that the defense can get a lot better. Same for Minnesota and their offense. It's going to be the second year with Kevin O'Connell, who I think showed that he's a good offensive-minded coach. That Minnesota Vikings offense looked like it clicked. I will admit Minnesota's one of my regression candidate teams because during the regular season they were 11-0 and one-score games, if you will. So what'd you say? They're favored by 6 points. I still think Tampa Bay is also a team that I would actually say is probably worse than the Houston Texans. Sure, Baker Mayfield's looked great in the preseason, but they have arguably the worst offensive line in football last year, and it was bad with Tom Brady. They couldn't run the football and they couldn't they couldn't throw the ball down the field with Tom Brady. So I think that this is going to be a game where Minnesota's going to put up some points. Minnesota did luckily get rid of Paul Gunther, so he's no longer doing he was working on the back end with their defense and stuff like that. But I'll take the Minnesota Vikings to win by more than 6 points. But I'll also take the over for the simple fact that both of these defenses I don't anticipate to be very good. And sometimes when I see an offense like Baker Mayfield, you saw it kind of in when the Raiders blew that lead. Baker does a really good job of running that 2-minute drill. So sometimes with a quarterback that can run that 2-minute drill quickly,
beat our ass with it.
If there's a little bit of a blowout, you could see a QB get a few garbage points. So what I look at for a team like the Bucs, who I do think are bad, I'll bet the over because your quarterback, Baker, can run that hurry up so well and throw some garbage points on there. So I'll take the over overall, and I'll take the Minnesota Vikings to beat them by more than 6.
I like that. Now, this is an interesting one right here. I think we all can agree, and I know you can't waste it because we've talked about it. I think talking about the Texans first, it was easy to just say that they're going to be the worst team in the NFL. They were last year, right? Yeah. But this is the team that we're all expecting to just pretty much just lay down and die this season. Kyler Murray's on the PUP list. Look, Buda Baker wanted to get out of there. They gave him a couple extra dollars to kind of shut him up. He's still there, but they're going to struggle mightily this year. I mean, they've been kind of getting rid of everybody. they're anticipating Caleb Williams next season. Let's just keep it real. This is the this is the way they're going. The Commanders are an interesting team. I think this is going to be a sneaky team. They're in a tough division. They got Philly, Dallas. Those teams are going to be really good. The Giants, a playoff team last year. That is a really good division. But I think the Commanders are a sneaky team. If Sam Howell can start the season off pretty quick, I like some of the weapons they have. And then they went and got my guy, Emmanuel Forbes. You know what I'm saying? In the draft, the guy that I've been hearing has been a pick six machine at training camp for them. This is an interesting one. They have it at what? The over under 38?
Yeah. Well, the over and under is 38 points, right? And
that's unbelievably low for an NFL game.
For an NFL, that's unbelievably low. That's more in the lines with a high school game. Yeah. And they have the Redskins as a touchdown favorite. I definitely see the Redskins covering, man, because you got to look at it from this perspective. Eric Bieniemy's play calling for the Washington Redskins, man, is going to make this offense dangerous. Like last year, they were one of the slower teams, were hard to put up points. This season, that's going to change. And Sam Howell is going to put up points on the board against his woeful Cardinal defense. Very, very easy. And the Washington Redskins have such an underrated receiving core. I can see this game getting ugly for the Cardinals. And to be honest with you, it looks like the Cardinals will be happy about getting blown out, to be real with you. It doesn't seem like that organization is trying to win at all. I want to get into some guys that are injured, man. Now, this is what we got to look at.
Terry McLaurin's the big one. He's got a toe.
Terry McLaurin and for the Carolina Panthers, Zach Ertz is hurt.
Cardinals.
What
team are we talking about?
I'm talking about Arizona.
There you go.
For Arizona, Zach Ertz is hurt. Garrett Williams.
Washington, the Redskins, and now Arizona's the Panthers. So I don't know. You forgot to take your medicine today. I don't know.
No, you were talking about the Redskins. You're talking about the Redskins. I'm talking about the opponent. I'm going
through. Take the prop bet. Wasted he's totally wrong about everything.
No, not at all, bro. Not at all.
Go ahead.
Look, but I'm going over the key injuries in the game since you guys already said Terry McLaurin. Zach Ertz is a big one for the Cardinals. Garrett Williams, one of their starting cornerbacks, is out. And then, like you said, Jonathan Allen is a huge one for the Redskins on the defensive side of the football as well. Yeah. Jonathan Allen is out, and Logan Thomas is out.
But the thing is this, though, Wasted. Arizona is starting a young quarterback out of Houston week 1 that doesn't have any NFL experience, right?
And that's why this is going to be a bloodbath.
They got Clayton Tune. The offensive line is suspect. I don't think Zach Ertz will be able to help. I mean, don't get me wrong. They always say a tight end is like a rookie's, security blanket. I don't even see him having enough time to get rid of the ball. This is going to be disgusting on Arizona's side. I got the Commanders winning by at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I definitely do too. I have the Commanders winning. I have the Commanders putting up a 30 burger on these guys.
Yeah,
I definitely do.
I don't know if the Commanders can put up 30 points. I see 38.5 or whatever that is in my mind. Everything's telling me to go the over. I just don't think that either of these teams are very talented offensively. I think both of them have bottom 3 offenses. And for a lot of the things that we just said with Arizona, if you're Washington, do you think that you can beat Arizona without Terry McLaurin? Because I personally think that they do, right?
Yeah, I think they can still hang a lot of points. Basically, a lot of people like to say that all of the magic in Kansas City has just been Andy Reid. But Eric Bieniemy has been under the tutelage of Andy Reid for a while.
Good job.
And I think Eric Bieniemy definitely
you have confidence in Sam Howell?
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of against this defense and against this team. I feel like they're going to be in a lot of favorable situations because they're starting Flotsam and Jetsam at starting quarterback. We don't even know where their starter is going to be. They're going to be in a lot of favorable down and distance situations, and they're going to be able to, put the ball in the end zone.
Either way, I like
30 points though. I'm saying I don't know if McLaurin's going to play. Like, would you risk the injury with your best receiver against a team that we're sitting up here right now is probably going to be the worst team in the NFL? And I get it. There's nothing ever handed to you in the league, but if he's a 50-50 shot, I'm not going to put him out there in that situation. Yeah. And then 30 points for a team that I think is a bad offense, even if they do put up 30. Let's say they put up 30. Are the Arizona Cardinals, what are they going to do? Are they going to score points? I don't see the Commanders putting up 30. If they have a good offensive day, let's say they're at 28, which that means then Arizona's got to put up over more than 10. I do think Arizona scores more than 10 points in this game, but I also don't think that the Commanders are going to go out there and drop a 30 burger. Maybe they do because that's how bad Arizona is.
Yeah.
And this could turn into a
I
college
think
football game, but
I think the run game is highly underrated. I like the little 1-2 punch of Brian Robinson.
there's going to be nerves. There's going to be rust. These two
Mitch.
teams, this is going to be an ugly football game. This is
I
gonna be
like Jahan Dotson a lot.
wasted getting out
and
of
that's
the
what I was
club
about
ugly.
to say. Mitch,
Jahan Dotson and Curtis Samuel. That's still a nice little 1-2 punch at the wide receiver
Hey,
position.
I hear you.
and
I
Mitch,
don't believe in Sam Howell. I think he stinks. I think Jacoby Brissett's better than Howell.
Okay. I mean, look,
I actually, and that's where we disagree. I actually happen to like Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell is I think he's a capable young starter. I don't think he's going to be a star quarterback, but I think against this bad defense and just like I said, Clayton Tune and all of these guys coming in here, they're going to turn the football over. You know, Washington has a pretty damn good defense, and they're going to be in a lot of favorable down and distance situations. They're going to have a short field a lot of times. They're going to be able to ring it up, and I think they're going to definitely hang 30 on them.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's get to the next one. We got the Jags in Indianapolis. Indianapolis, man, they kind of threw in the towel early on as well. Jonathan Taylor, that whole debacle. They got Anthony Richardson. They named him the starter pretty fast. I just don't see Indianapolis. They may be the Arizona Cardinals of the AFC this year. Jacksonville, I'm going to be real, they may be able to hang up 45 alone. That offense is crazy. Calvin Ridley is back. To me, he's going to be a top 5 to top 10 wide receiver this year. In fantasy, he's going to kill it. I know he's out for blood after the whole situation of being suspended for betting. Look, what do you guys got right here? Jacksonville, Indianapolis, the over-under is 45. And they got the Colts +5, Jags -5.
Look, I'm going to go with the favorite. I'm going with the Jags. The only thing is the over and under. I'm gonna have to take the under in this game. I've watched preseason a fair amount this year, and the Colts are a bad football team.
Yes.
Anthony Richardson may become the next Cam Newton, but an A+ Richardson, you know what I mean, can't get you, of the points that you're going to need to be able to compete in this game, man.
Wasted. The thing is this too.
What's up,
Their backup running back, Zach Moss, is questionable as well. Like they're going to be running with probably Deion Jackson and Evan Hall at running back if Zach Moss can't be out there. And even Zach Moss has been just not that good since coming into the NFL.
Yeah, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. This might be the worst week 1 team that the Colts have put on the field in 15 years.
Damn.
And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Jacksonville is probably going to be awesome this year, especially with the addition of Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. Calvin Ridley has a lot to prove this year, and a lot of people forget about Calvin Ridley. But as Devontae Adams said, he's one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League.
And that defensive line ain't what it used to be in Indianapolis either. Like at this point, they got Kwity Paye out there from Michigan. They drafted him a year ago. They got DeForest Buckner, which is one of the best defensive tackles. I mean, you got Grover Stewart. You know what I mean? Like some of these other guys, even Shaquille Leonard is questionable. So he's not even a for sure thing. This may be ugly. This may be a bloodbath, Mitch.
Yeah, this is going to be an ugly game. I'm kind of saying all the things you guys are already hitting on. Like one of my top receivers that I'm targeting in all my fantasy leagues is Calvin Ridley. I mean, when he first came out of Alabama, that he's just a freak athlete, can do a lot of the great things. And the Jags played really solid football down the stretch of last season, and now going into their second year with Doug Peterson, he's done a phenomenal job. He's built a really solid culture. I also know that Jacksonville, like this offense is going to be a very entertaining offense to watch. And Anthony Richardson is an intriguing quarterback from a fantasy standpoint.
Definitely.
But from a actual football standpoint, this offense is really going to struggle without Jonathan Taylor. I will admit, they're a team that I wonder if they're going to try to sign a Leonard Fournette, maybe a Kareem Hunt. I know Hunt already had a visit with them.
Yeah.
But it's an ugly situation right now in Indy. Also, the only thing that makes me hesitant a little bit is the AFC South has been a division typically that plays each other kind of tough. They're just
Agreed.
kind of like that brand of football. It reminds me a little bit of like the AFC North sometimes, where those games can be kind of wonky.
Yeah.
But I'm looking right now, and it's 5 points. I'm taking Jags on the road -5 every single day of the week in this one.
Yep.
And then the over-under is 45, I'd probably take the over in that because I do think Jacksonville drops a 30 burger in this game.
Oh,
Yeah, I tend to agree with Mitch. You got to understand something. Trevor Lawrence is, as some have said, is the best quarterback prospect since John Elway.
Yeah.
Right, and
That's not true though.
It's not true. I think there's a couple of guys that I probably put over him, like Andrew Luck, guys like that. But some have said that, and I'm going to be real with you. I think that this year is the year that Trevor Lawrence stamps himself as one of the 5 best passers in the National Football League.
I think last year, if he can just continue to build off that Chargers win alone, I mean, that was a huge, major win for Jacksonville and for Trevor Lawrence moving forward. I mean, look, I'm still looking at these guys as offensive weapons, you guys. They brought Ridley. They got Christian Kirk still. They got Etienne coming back. They got Tank Bigsby, a nice little backup over there. They kind of change of pace guy. Zay Jones had a really good season for them last year. They re-signed Evan Ingram. These guys probably, like, I got them throwing up maybe a 40 burger on these guys, bro. Like, to be honest, I still like their defense. Josh Allen is questionable on the defensive side of the ball. Tyson Campbell's questionable, but these guys still have Devin Lloyd out there. Chad Muma, a guy I liked a lot a few years back in that draft. They got Andre Cisco, still a young free safety over there. They got some guys. This can get ugly. I agree with you. I'm going with the over, and man, this can be really, 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 really ugly for the Indianapolis Colts. And that sucks because you don't want to see a guy like Anthony Richardson deal with that kind of blow to his confidence that early. But, hey, they put him out there as that number 1 guy immediately. He's going to have to deal with the shit.
You drafted at 4, it doesn't matter. If you drafted at number 4, you're expected to be able to handle the bullshit. And he needed to be put in the perfect situation. And honestly, when he got drafted by Indianapolis, I thought maybe this is the perfect situation with Jonathan Taylor and a run-first team. Without Jonathan Taylor, we're talking about Arizona. Without Jonathan Taylor, Indianapolis is a lot closer to Arizona than what we can admit. Yeah. They're close.
No, definitely agree. Let's get to the next one, you guys. Wasted, what do you think about this? We got the Niners at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to be one of the most sneakiest teams in the NFL this year.
Yes, sir.
That is not a team that you can look past. They have Mike Tomlin. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL. I'm hearing the pick is finally getting it together. They got George Pickens. He looks like he's going to be a top 10 receiver here soon. Their defense is always good. You know what I mean? And then you got the Niners, which are one of the best teams on paper in the NFL. How do you have this right now? They got the over-under at 41.
Listen, I'm gonna be real with you. They have the Niners as 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
Upset alert. This is our first upset of the week. This is the upset alert of the week. Listen, you got a freaking team that has a quarterback that really has been on a scrap heap for the last 3 years. It's looking like Sam Darnold is going to be the starter.
No. They named Brock Purdy the starter.
So Brock Purdy coming off of an injury that only 3 people I've seen come back from in the history of the league.
He's starting.
It's starting.
Yep. Sam Darnold won the number 2 spot. That's why they got rid of Lance.
Man, I'm going to be real with you. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers every day of the week and twice on Sunday, man. That they have a coaching advantage because I think, too much is made of the genius of Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is he's a great play caller.
Yeah.
But he's terrible at protecting his quarterbacks. We went over this when Graphk and I were talking on the phone at the bloodbath with that scheme. Even his former coordinators, like Mike McDaniels down there with the Miami Dolphins, he got both of his quarterbacks hurt last year. Mm-hmm. This is something that is a common theme in that Kyle Shanahan scheme. A lot of people say, is it the quarterback or is it the scheme? It is definitely the scheme.
Well, and also, Bosa's still in the air. They have not extended Nick Bosa. That Pittsburgh O-line has been pretty questionable these past 2 seasons. Both their right guards, James Daniels and Nate Herbig, are questionable. So that right side can be a little questionable. But without Bosa, they still got Eric Armstead. They got some nice guys on the defense. The Niners are always going to have a nice defensive line. Yeah. But I think that Tomlin and these guys will definitely scheme. They're gonna put together a nice scheme out there for that defensive line. But I agree with you, Wade. I think that this is upset alert. It's in Pittsburgh. That is a very, very tough place to play. Najee Harris, I think, is in for a big year this year. It's about time. I think he's going to have a huge year. They still got Deontay Johnson, which is a baller. George Pickett. I mean, they got Allen Robinson, a guy that is fighting for his last bit of breath in the NFL. You know what I mean? They have a nice tight end, with I always butcher his name. Was it Freiermuth? I forgot how to say it, but
Freiermuth.
Freiermuth? Yeah, whatever it is.
Freiermuth. Yeah, he's a Penn State guy.
Yeah, he's nice, and they always filled a great defense. They went and got Joey Porter Jr., which to me is one of the steals of this draft. They got Micah Fitzpatrick. I mean, TJ Watt is healthy. He'll be out there. Cameron Hayward is questionable, but they do got DeMarvin Leal as his backup. I think they'll be all right over there. And they got Larry O. That's gonna be a nice defensive line over there. I think they beat the Niners, man. I think they do. Brock Purdy is going to have a down season, you guys. I'm telling you now. This is going to be the Jared Stidham effect. There's tape out there on him. He had like 8 games last season, I believe, somewhere along the lines, 7-8 games. They're going to figure him out. They do have some nice weapons. Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel. We already know. Brandon Ayuk. They got Ronnie Bell, a nice, sneaky wide receiver they got in the draft out of Michigan. I like him. Danny Gray is on the IR. The speedster guy. They still got Kittle. You know what I mean? But I got Pittsburgh beating these guys. And what you got here, Mitch? What you got?
Yeah, my top regression team, I also said like Minnesota. My other top regression team is the 49ers because, yeah, they have a lot of top-heavy talent. Like, there's no doubt. They got Nick Bosa, Debo Samuel, George Kittle, Fred Warner on the defensive side of the football. But when you actually look at the depth on that team, because of some of the deals that they've had to throw together and because I get they've been good, but that organization hasn't done a great job in the draft, right? And it's going to start to catch up to them a little bit, kind of like with all the Raiders' past bad drafts. It kind of caught up to them, and now hopefully we're getting by that time period a little bit. But Pittsburgh at home, I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I think that's a game that they're going to win. I'm also going to bet the under in this one. I do think it's a come back down to earth a little bit here for Brock Purdy because teams are going to be able to get a lot more tape. Mike Tomlin, 17 years head coach, has never had a losing season. There's a reason behind that. I do think Kyle Shanahan's still a phenomenal head coach. Mm-hmm. Does he get his QBs hurt? Yes, he does. But this is a game where I'm going to take Pittsburgh at home. I'm going to bet the under on this one. But you also mentioned Najee Harris. I mean, Najee Harris to me is this offense is going to move the football. I thought that this offense overall looked a lot better in the preseason. Kenny Pickett looked like he took that step. Yep. However, I do think one of the worst offensive coordinators in the league is Matt Canada for Pittsburgh. I think he is as stale as it comes. I mean, it reminds me like Greg Olson's offense where you're like, this shit is boring to watch. And it's tough to watch. But they do have a lot of talent. Both teams are very physical. You know, you can talk about the Niners' defense. Pittsburgh's got a hell of a defense, too. And if TJ Watt's healthy in this game, going out and trying to get Brock Purdy right now, good luck. I'm taking the under, and I'm taking the Steelers to win this game and to obviously cover.
Agreed. I think we're all pretty much on board with this one. Right now, wasted. What do we got next? We got the Titans at the Saints. The Titans for a minute there, I thought there was a quarterback debate there. They went and got Mr. Mayonnaise. You know what I'm saying? Malik Willis, I've heard, has looked pretty good at training camp. He beat him out for the number 2 spot at the quarterback position. They still got Ryan Tannehill. They got Derrick Henry coming back. Treylon Burks, isn't he hurt? I think Burks is out. Isn't he out?
Burks is out, but they do have DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Before the DeAndre Hopkins trade, the Titans probably had the worst receiving core in the National Football League. They went out there. They got DeAndre Hopkins.
Burks is playing. Burks is playing.
I thought he was injured.
Yeah, that's a nice 1-2 punch.
But I don't know the severity of the injury. Like, I got no idea. But this is going to be a game to me that I think is going to be another very low-scoring game. Saints not having Alvin Kamara is really going to hurt their offense.
Yeah.
To me, like, I think Chris Olave is going to have a good year. Michael Thomas is a hell of a receiver. It's going to be a big moment for Derek Carr. We'll see if he's able to shine or not. But Tennessee, this team is one of the most difficult teams to be able to wrap my mind around because
Agreed.
To me, the Titans are a tough team to bet on, and it's always a team that I watch to see if they score first. They're a team where I try to bet like in the middle of the game. If they score second and they can't just feed Derrick Henry, they have the worst wide receiver group in the league to me. I mean, it's an ugly room, but if they get out on top of DC and the Saints, I'm probably going to take the under in this one. But the +3 Tennessee, there's a part of me that just thinks like Mike Vrabel's going to have this team ready to go. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm hating on DC here a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to be ready for the moment.
No,
I agree.
Look, you know what? I as much as I would like to hate on Derek Carr, I can't be, I can't hate on him in a way where, it's going to be strictly because of him. I think if the Saints don't cover, they're 3.5-point favorites, it'll be largely because the Tennessee Titans had one of the most injured defenses in the league last year, and they got a lot of those guys coming back this year.
Yeah, bro, they got my boy Harold Landry, and he had like 17, 18 sacks the year prior. They got Denico Autry, a guy that I don't know how we let him go and move on. They re-signed Jeffrey Simmons. He's going to come out there really hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got some sneaky guys over there at defensive. They brought back Kevin Byard, Christian Fulton. Man,
yeah,
bro.
Look, I got the Saints. I got the Saints covering. I have the Saints winning this game. But keep in mind, their rush defense has been horrendous. And they're going up against Derrick Henry. And I think that's going to keep the game manageable. And Mike Vrabel is always going to, have a competitive defense and field a competitive team. And keep in mind that, when you have a DeAndre Hopkins on the field and you have an athletic quarterback like a Malik Willis, good things happen once Malik Willis can get outside of the pocket. But listen, give me the Saints covering, but not by much.
And keep an eye on another guy, you guys.
Do you think they're going to win by 1 or 2?
No, I got them covering. I have them winning by a touchdown, but late in the game.
Okay. I got Tennessee winning, but keep an eye on Tajay Spears, you guys. The rookie guy out of Tulane. He's like the perfect thunder to that. Yeah, like I like Spears a lot. This is going to be a guy you'll probably see on the field a lot. What was the number? What they have again? It was
3.5. 3.5.
Okay. And you what you have wasted? You got them covering?
Yeah, I got them. I have the Saints covering.
It's 3. 3.5 is a big difference. 3's.
Okay.
I'm going Tennessee.
I got Tennessee as well. I think that offensive line isn't as good as it used to be out there in New Orleans, you guys. The O-line is not. It's on paper they look all right, but I'm telling you now, and Thomas, that guy can go down at any point. We've seen this year in and year out. But they did go draft a guy that I like a lot in A.T. Perry out of Wake Forest. We may see him play a little bit in this game as well. They do have Jamal Williams, though, Mitch, a guy they brought over from Detroit, and he's going to be in there a lot for Alvin Kamara those first 3-4 weeks. But yeah, man. Yeah.
And a part of the reason why I have the Saints covering as well, they have a pretty good defense. They're not good at defending the run, but you can account for Malik Willis turning the football over a few times this game.
Well, he's not playing. They got Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill started.
Ryan Tannehill is – wait a minute.
That's the starter.
Wait a minute. They still got – see, I screwed up right there.
Yeah, Tannehill's the starter.
Tannehill's the starter.
Tannehill's still the starter? Look at me talking about people advice. I made my pick off of – so Ryan Tannehill is the Derek Carr killer.
There you go.
Ryan Tannehill. I had no idea they were going to – I thought that they were going full board with Malik Willis. So, guys, forget everything I just said. I have the Saints winning this game. Not that to say I have Tennessee winning this game.
And you look at the Saints, like you said, you look at the Saints defense, man. Like, yeah, they got a nice DB room. I like a Debo. They got Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus May, Marshawn Lattimore. But that defensive line is not the same anymore at all.
That's
even though Brian Brees.
I think if the Titans score first, I think it sounds like a stupid thing, but if Tennessee can use that play action and they can rely on Henry, New Orleans is going to struggle. No doubt about it. And they're going to get after it.
They have one of the worst rush defenses in the National Football League. Now that I don't have a green guy back at quarterback, and Ryan Tannehill is a guy that can move the pocket. He doesn't necessarily have to take off and run to be productive and to be protected. Look, man, you got Ryan Tannehill, DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry, and you have a woeful rush defense. You give me the Tennessee Titans.
Okay, I like that. So we all agree on that. Let's get the next one going, you guys. Salute to everybody still in the building, man. We appreciate you guys. We're doing something different today. So to have 400 plus, 500 plus people in the building, we salute you guys. Make sure you guys wipe them feet. hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channels, make sure you hit that subscribe on all 3 channels over there. Mitch's channel and me and Wastes as well. We appreciate y'all. Now we got the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons. This is going to be an interesting game. I think this is going to be a very, very good game. This can be potentially one of those sneaky games of week 1. Like I know you look at it, it's the Panthers, it's the Falcons. You know, they got Bryce Young out there year 1. I mean, they got, the Falcons, man, they built that team up. I'm not sure, I like what they're doing at the quarterback position right now, but this can be a sneaky game right here, you guys. What do they have? The over-under is 39.5?
39.5. Listen, I'm gonna take the under, and that is a woefully low score for 2 teams in the National Football League. But you have very, very green quarterback play on both sides of the football. Mm-hmm. I think you're gonna get a heavy run presence by the Atlanta Falcons. With Bijan Robinson coming to the National Football League, Desmond Ridder is taking over as a starter down there. But to be real with you, man, I don't have a whole lot of faith in Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers to be able to string together more than 2 touchdowns. I think
they're running the ball heavy. They got a really great running back in Bijan Robinson. Cordell Patterson is questionable. If he's out there, he's been a huge part of that offense. And they always beat his name up. Tyler, is it Algier?
Algier or something like that.
Yeah.
Algier.
A second-year guy that played really well for them last year. They're definitely going to run the ball heavy with Desmond Ridder out there as a starter.
And they are. And what you got to look at too is the Carolina Panthers have a horrendous offensive line and a small quarterback that's a rookie.
Worst 3 in the league. Easy.
Yeah, so he's gonna have a time trying to string together any kind of offensive momentum. Look, man, it's gonna be a field goal fest.
And Miles Sanders is questionable too, you guys. They do have Chuba Hubbard. I mean, he's a nice second option for them. Terrace Marshall is also questionable for the Carolina Panthers, and DJ Chark is also questionable. So at this point, they got Jonathan Mingo, a guy I was really high on in this draft. And they got Adam Thielen, the veteran that came over from Minnesota. I'm going with the under here as well.
You have to, and to be real with you, man, since 1970, rookie number 1 overall pick quarterbacks are 3-13-1 in their first career starts. And they've lost a total of like the last 8.
Yeah.
So, this is almost a stone cold lead pipe fact. You got to go with the Arizona. I'm not Arizona, but you got to go with the Atlanta Falcons on this one.
Yeah, I got
you getting Arizona and Carolina confused twice now.
Twice.
Hey, man. I didn't get that confused last time. You were talking, and I was talking about Arizona.
Twice. You got it twice.
Was not twice. Get the F out of here, bro.
I got the Falcons winning.
It be your own people. It be your own people, man. This fucking guy.
Hey, you know what? Let's do this. Hey, chat. Did he get it wrong twice? We'll leave it up to the chat. Fuck what me and Mitch talking about. All right.
Fuck both of y'all.
All right, you guys, let's run through this. We got about 10 minutes left for Mitch. I know he has to get out of here by 5 o'clock Central, so let's kind of get through these next few games. Right now, we got Cincinnati at Cleveland. These guys usually play. This is usually a pretty good game as well. Divisional game, Ohio game. This 47.5 over under. Ways to go ahead and take this over, bro.
Man, listen, I'm gonna go with the over. This is going to be an electric game. I think they're going to be out there scoring a lot of points. It's an even money game. To be honest with you, they have the Cincinnati Bengals as a slight favorite in this game, less than a field goal. I'm going to be real with you, man. Deshaun Watson, this is going to be his coming out party. It's going to be able to ring up a lot of points, but just roster for roster, you got to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow's coming and probably going to make a push to be MVP this season. He's going to start it. I have the Cincinnati Bengals winning.
What you got, Mitch?
Yeah, I'm actually going to take the under in this game. I feel like this is kind of like one of those trap games because it's 2 big-name quarterbacks. But Burrow, I get the fact that he dealt with the calf injury, but we also got to consider the fact that he just started practicing again, and I don't know if he's going to be rusty. He's in that upper echelon of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. I'm not as high on Deshaun Watson, but I'm more of both of these teams spent a lot of money on defense, and the Browns I get they got Deshaun, but that's a run-first team to me with Nick Chubb, and their defense is loaded. I think the Bengals did a pretty good job this year of really trying to ramp up their overall defense as well. The Bengals' offensive line's kind of sus to me. They've spent a lot of money there recently, but it still hasn't quite panned out, and Myles Garrett's going to get his. So this is a game where I'm going to take Cincinnati to win by a field goal, so I would take them to cover. They're going to win outright in this game, but I will bet the under just simply because these AFC North games, anytime I see AFC North, I usually bet the under because those teams know each other really, really well, and I think there's going to be a lot more defense involved and a lot of coaching strategy. So I'll bet the under for the 47, but I'll still take Cincy to win this game.
I'm going to take the over. Myles Garrett's questionable. Jordan Elliott's questionable. Their starting linebackers are all three. He's questionable. Denzel Ward's questionable. Grant Delpit, he's questionable. Greg Newsome is questionable. That is a lot of these guys on the starting side of that defensive ball is questionable. And don't get me wrong, that'll change getting closer, week one. But just seeing that as a red flag. And
to be honest with you, in those AFC Central games, when you start talking about that, you're talking about later in the season as it gets colder. In the beginning of the season, you get shootouts.
Yeah,
AFC Central.
But you know what? You may I can't.
Look, I'm old. Okay, look, I remember it was the AFC Central. All right.
I may have to agree with Mitch though because Joe Burrow's still coming off that injury. You know what I'm saying? That was it the hamstring injury? Or calf. You have it. Mixon's back. He took that team from the deal to come back. They may run the ball heavy over there. I mean, they still got all those weapons. They got Boyd, Higgins, Jamar Chase. They drafted Boyd's replacement, our guy that I liked a lot out of, was it Princeton, I believe? The speedster, Andre Lazivis. He's a dog, and he was killing it for them in preseason. This can go either way. I want to say the Bengals can beat up on the Browns, but I also want to temper it down a little bit because it is an in-division game, and like we said before, Burrow's coming off that injury. What do you take, Wade? So you take the over or the under?
I took the over, man, because you have supreme quarterback play at hand. You have a lot of weapons. You have a lot of injuries on both defenses, and it's early in the season. You got, the best possible conditions out there. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Okay.
But I'm taking Cincinnati with the points, but I have both teams covering the over.
Okay, I got Cincy winning, and I you know what? I might have to go with the under. I'm gonna go with the under. Philly at New England. Over under is 45. New England +4. Eagles -4. Mitch, start this one off for us, brother.
Well, I will say this is going to be an interesting game to me, and usually with Bill Belichick Patriot games, I do typically bet the under because Bill's always been very, very good at taking away what the other team does really well.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to flip the script here on this one. I think one of the things that makes Philly's offense so dynamic is they have just so many different players that can beat you up and down the field, and their offense is, to me, it's going to click and it's going to be able to move, and they're going to move the football. I also know how the NFL media works, and this game's going to be super hyped up because pretty sure this is the game with Brady, like going back to New England, right? Is this, or am I tripping here? Yeah, this is Brady. It's like the most expensive game in the NFL this year because Brady's going to be there. They're going to introduce him or something.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take Philly to win this game pretty easily. I do think New England's not a good team whatsoever, so I'm looking at -4. I'll take the Eagles to win this one pretty easily. Philly's front is still as nasty as it's ever been. That's how New England's going to try to win this game, is by running the football. It's not going to happen. I think Philly wins this game 2 touchdowns easily, and they're going to put up 30 points.
I agree. I agree. I'm going to take the over as well. And, yeah, that's what New England exactly. They got Ramondre Stevenson. They just brought Ezekiel Elliott in. But that defense is not the same anymore. Philadelphia has probably the best offensive line in the NFL. Matthew Judon is so phenomenal. He'll probably get his, but I don't really see what New England has. They've been a pretty bad offense these past few years since Josh has left. That wide receiver room is still very suspect. When you got Devontae Parker as your wide receiver 1, Juju's there. They got Kendrick Bourne still. I don't see what New England has for Philly. I think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I do too. Look, there will be a lot of emotions in this game at their home opener because Tom Brady's returning, the prodigal son's returning. But do not let your emotions and the emotions of what you think the fans are going to feel in that stadium affect your betting decisions.
Yeah.
You listen. You got to take if this is probably the most stone cold lead pipe fact of our whole day. The Eagles will roll. I don't think we're going to get a Super Bowl hangover or regression from this team. Howie Roseman has built, a juggernaut on defense. Yeah. I don't really see the Patriots being able to do anything offensively based off of the fact that, look, they haven't improved that receiving core at all.
Yeah.
They are not going to be able to throw the football the way they would like to be. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Mac Jones. And even with Bill O'Brien coming in and changing up that scheme a little bit, he's a much better play caller than Matt Patricia. I think that the Patriots would be a lot better than people think, but I think that starts week 2.
I take an under on this. I think it's going to be somewhere along the lines of like 30-10 or something like that. like I think Philly's going to blow them out, and New England may get a field goal or touchdown in some garbage time minutes. But this is probably going to be disgusting week 1. I don't see.
I don't really see it being a disgusting game because look, a lot of people like to say that all of the magic in New England left with Tom Brady. Bill Belichick is still Bill Belichick. He's probably the best defensive coordinator damn near in the history in football. And I know he's not the defensive coordinator; he's the head coach. But his scheme still reigns supreme. I see this being a Eagle win, probably 35-21.
Okay, I love Christian Gonzalez. That pickup, I hear he's looking really good out there in camp for New England as well. But I see this as a blowout. Let's get to the next game, you guys, real quick. We got the Rams at the Seahawks, and we'll end it. We'll get Mitch out of here with the Raiders game. We got 2 or 3.
Yeah, we always gotta say the best for last, man.
Yeah. But let's do the Rams and Seahawks right here. The over-under is 46.5. They got the Rams plus 5.5. Seahawks minus 5.5. Seahawks coming off of a nice little run last year, playoff berth. The Rams took a major step back. They had a lot of injuries. Let's start with Wasted here, man. What you got, brother?
I think the Seahawks are going to look to build on that 2022 playoff berth in week 1. Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp missed the entire season last year, pretty much. And, their lifeblood of that offense over there, they're back.
Yep.
The Rams have sold their soul to win the Super Bowl, and I think it's coming back to bite them.
Kupp is hurt, though, so
he's hurt.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I was getting to. Look, man, the best story 2023 is Geno Smith. I see the Seahawks winning this game, and I see the Seahawks covering the spread. The Seahawks are favorites. I see them covering the spread, man, and I see the Rams losing by more than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the Rams, man. I mean, you got Van Jefferson as your wide receiver too. I like Tutu Atwell. He looked good for them in preseason. They got Tyler Higbee. This isn't a team to me that is going to make any noise. This may be one of the bottom dwellers of the NFL this season. Their defense is not that much better. They still got Aaron Donald, which I think he is going to be a prime trade candidate by the trade deadline. That's somebody, if we're winning, you guys, when we're still having problems on the defensive line, I'm sorry. You better make a call to the Rams, and because Aaron Donald is still there, Aaron Donald. But you go down this list of their defense, they look bad. Seattle, I love that secondary. They got Tariq Woolen, our guy, wasted. They got Kobe Bryant. They have a man. That defense is going to look nice. That offense, they continue to build on that. Yeah, look, I agree with what Mitch was talking. What Wasted was saying. This is, yeah. What you got?
I agree. I think honestly, the thing that scares me most about the Rams is I don't know if you guys saw, like, Stafford's wife was on a podcast recently.
Yeah.
She was like saying that Stafford can't connect with some of the younger players, which I mean it's something that people got to start realizing. Like, the older and older these quarterbacks get, like Rodgers is 38 years old, and there's some guys on his team that were
they're like this.
But yeah, exactly. So Stafford's having a hard time being able to connect with some of these guys. I do think Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the NFL from a offensive standpoint. But if they don't have Cooper Kupp, this is a game where I'm not betting on it right now. Based off of the information that I know, I probably would take Seattle at minus 5.5. I probably would also just take the under to just be cautious. But if it comes out that Cooper Kupp's not playing, give me everything possible on Seattle, because if Stafford doesn't have him, I think it could get really, really ugly.
Yeah, Geno Smith is coming off that big year. Kenneth Walker, he's going to take that next step this year. Big body running back out of Michigan State. They got Zach Charbonnet, a guy that out of UCLA that is a sneaky option for them at the running back position as well. They went and got Smith in this draft out of Ohio State to add to that wide receiver room. He is questionable, but they still have Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. They got Noah Fant. This offense is gonna work. And then, on the defensive side of the ball, we already know what they always do over there. They brought Bobby Wagner back. They got Devin Witherspoon early. That's gonna add to that room again. Like these guys, Seattle, man, on paper they have a nice team. I got Seattle cooking the Rams.
Yeah, man. This is an easy one, man. This is an easy one.
Packers at Bears. This can be a really good game or a terrible game.
Even money game, pretty much, man.
A lot of noise being made about Jordan Love looking really good out there. They moved on from Aaron Rodgers. He's with the Jets now. And they finally gave the keys to Jordan Love. They gave him the Aaron Rodgers treatment, sat him behind Brett Favre. We know how this shit goes in Green Bay, right? The over-under is 43. They have the Bears -1, +1 for the Packers. Let's start with Wasted here, man. What you got, brother?
I got the Green Bay Packers shocking the world.
Okay.
Shocking the world.
Okay.
Covering, and I got the Green Bay Packers winning this game. It's an even money game. It's a 1-point game.
Oh, one. Sorry.
It's a 1-point game, man. So I got the Green Bay Packers winning this, man. I think Jordan Love is a lot better than a lot of people think. And when you look at their rosters, player for player, 1-53, the Packers have a much better roster than the Chicago Bears. I got the Packers. Yes, I do. I think the Bears are going to have a hard time this year, man. I think the Bears are going to flop.
I like what the Bears did in free agency. They went out and got T.J. Edwards from Philly early on in free agency. They got Tremont Edmonds. They got Jaquan Brisker. He is questionable, though. That was a guy that we liked a lot. Wasted out coming out of the draft. They got Tyreek Stevenson, a guy from Miami that may play some real reps for him in year one. Justin Fields takes the next step this year, you guys. Like, I know that he's like a black horse. What is it? What was it? Black? What? How do they call it? Dark horse.
Dark horse.
Dark horse. Black horse. Dark horse. Like MVP candidate at this point. A lot of people are thinking that he's going to take the next step in the passing game. We know he can run the ball, but that O-line has been very suspect. They haven't had a lot of receiving options, but they did go out and they got Chase Claypool, which they're really low on right now, and there's a lot of talk about them potentially moving on from him soon. He's questionable. They went and got DJ Moore in that trade with the Panthers, which is going to be huge for them. I don't like their run game at all. I know they're going to rely heavily on Justin Fields, but they got Khalil Herbert is running back 1. Dante Foreman is nice, veteran guy as a running back 2. They brought Travis Homer over from Seattle, I believe, but I don't really see a lot of firepower on the offensive side of the ball. This may be a low-scoring game. I got Chicago winning, though. I just think that Justin Fields is better than Jordan Love. And they do got Aaron Jones. I like their wide receiver room a lot. Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, young guys, that they drafted a year ago. They got Luke Musgrave, one of the best tight ends in this last draft. But I don't know, man. I don't think that Green Bay is going to be ready yet, man.
See, Matt LaFleur is a much better coach too. You got to look at it. Matt LaFleur is 13-4 against the spread as an underdog in his career. Including once with Jordan Love. So don't be surprised, man, if the Bears get woefully outcoached, man.
Okay, and what is the 40? Is 43? I'm taking under.
43. You taking the under? I agree with Graham. I'm taking the under, man. Mitch, what about you?
So I'm actually going to take the over in this game from a specific spot of. I do think this is going to be a much better year for Justin Fields, and his offensive line will be better. I know that their running game isn't great, but Khalil Herbert to me and Foreman is a Dollar General, Lightning and Thunder type of running back duo. I do think DJ Moore is going to help that entire room out a lot. Yeah, TJ Edwards is a good signing. Tremaine Edmonds as well. Solid players there. But I do think the Packers defense, their up front isn't all that great compared to their secondary. They got some good players out there. But I also love what I saw from Jordan Love. I was a big fan of Love. I think Love is a better thrower than Justin Fields, but Fields is the better overall athlete, especially with his legs. To me, though, it's going to be a game where there's not a lot of tape on Jordan Love, so he's going to play well. I just think Chicago is the better overall team. I'll disagree a little bit with Wasted. I know that they were really bad last season, but they did spend a lot of money. I liked some of the draft picks that they made. So it's not going to be over by much to me, but I am going to take Chicago to win, and I'll take the over in this game.
Now, this is perfect. We got about 3-4 minutes left with Mitch. We're going to go right here with our Raiders, Week 1 at the Denver Broncos in Mile High. The over-under is 44. Raiders +4, Denver -4. Let's start with Mitch here. What you got, brother?
I mean, Raiders have won 6 games in a row. I'm gonna take the Raiders. Like, the Broncos are super banged up on both sides of the football. I mean, like, there's no doubt about it. The only reason why this game is what it is because of Sean Payton and because it's in Denver. But Josh Jacobs has owned the Broncos recently. I'm going to take Jimmy Garoppolo. He's healthy, and when Jimmy G's healthy, he's proven that he can win.
Good things can happen.
I get the idea that the Raiders got some running concerns, but the Broncos running backs right now are very thin. Sure, they're going to have Javonte Williams, but how healthy is he actually going to be?
He's coming off a big injury.
I'm taking the Raiders in this one, and this is one of those games where I think people are going to realize that Russell Wilson's actually not very good, and because there's no way you're as bad as what he was last season. Like, he might come back to the middle a little bit, but you're not going to see the top 10 Russell Wilson that you saw back in Seattle. So to me, I'm going to take the Raiders in this one. I'm going to take the over. I do think that the Raiders are going to score some points. I will say that the Broncos are going to score some points too, but the Raiders are going to win this one, and give me the over.
Okay, I like that. What you got, Wasted?
Look, the Broncos defense was their only bright side last year. You know, they were ranked 12th in points allowed, despite frequently being put in tough positions. And Sean Payton has won a Super Bowl, you know, 631 winning percentage. With all that being said, Russell Wilson is one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the National Football League until proven otherwise. I mean, he had a disaster of a season last year.
Definitely.
Jimmy Garoppolo is one of the winningest quarterbacks in the National Football League. The Raiders, up and down, roster-wise, are a much better football team. We just are. It is what it is. And listen, Josh McDaniels has something to say about that whole, you know, that whole Sean Payton being a play caller and being a head coach. Josh McDaniels is one of the best play callers in the National Football League. He has way more talent on the offensive side of the ball. He has currently a better quarterback starting, and our defense is much improved. I'm going to take the Road Dogs to win, you know, probably by 2 touchdowns. We've owned the Broncos, and that's not going to change. Raiders for the win.
Well, you got over, under. I got the Raiders winning as well, but I don't know if I'm going to take the over. I may take the under on this.
All right, we got to look at how many points for the over, man. So it's 44 points. I'm probably gonna take the under.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm gonna take the under. What, Mitch? You took the over, right?
Yeah, I see the Raiders putting up 30 against Denver.
Okay, so you got Denver at least putting up 14.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I want to go that over, but I'm gonna take the under. I have a weird feeling this is gonna be like a 28-14 type of game or something.
Yeah, that's where I have it at. You know what I mean? Look, and we also have to look at the fact that, you know, we're going to have some growing pains with our new quarterback. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? I don't see us opening up the kind of way that we see, but I see us winning in convincing fashion, but just not over 44 points.
Real quick, that's the best way to get our brother Mitch out of here. It's 5 o'clock. Salute to you, bro.
Mitch, thank you for pulling up too, brother. Appreciate you.
Believe me, thank you two for saving my ass on Thursday and Friday.
I
mean, it was awesome. It was fun to watch you and Chugs roast each other. Obviously, you know, having you on Graphk with, you know, the football knowledge, wasted football knowledge as well. Like, I love Jeremy, but to be able to hold like that Raiders conversation down, you guys helped me out a lot more, I think, than what you realize, because there were definitely some parts there. I know my face might not have shown it, but my mind was like, boy, you better not cry live right now on YouTube. Some of that shit was hurting. But no, it was a lot of fun. But I pulled up today because you guys showed me love on Thursday and Friday. I'm off, and I got to go pick up Alex from the airport, so that's why I got to bounce here a little bit.
Get out of here. Go pick up sis, bro. Hit me up. We'll get up soon. I know we're going to hang out week 3. As well. Waste is going to be out. It's going to be good to see you guys finally meet in person. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So salute to you, brother. Love you to death, man. Send our love to the missus. Have a good day, brother. Salute to our brother Mitch, man. On the way out, you guys, make sure you guys go follow our brother Mitch. You already know where he is on YouTube. Go hit that subscribe button. Follow him on Twitter. You know, Instagram, Mitchell Renz. You already know what it is. Salute to our brother, man. Have a blessed day, bro.
See you guys. Keep killing it. And if you guys need anything, other guests or whatever, I'm also free tomorrow. I got my family fantasy football draft, but that's it. So
I may need you
know.
for a coffee and combo. I'm gonna hit you up.
Cool. Sounds good, bro. I'll see you.
All right, brother.
Take it easy.
Let's finish this up. We're still gonna rock a little bit. It's always great to end it with the Raiders, right? But let's keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Like this, we got to keep it all NFL right here. Yeah. So let's start right here, man, or get back to it with the Miami Dolphins, which are one of the sneaky teams in the NFL. They made a lot of moves this offseason. There's been a lot of talk about Jonathan Taylor to the Dolphins as well, versus the LA Chargers here. The over-under is 51. Tua's coming back. You know, he was dealing with all those. He had issues last year, all year long, and I'm shocked that he's even back. I thought he was going to retire early. You know what I mean? Those concussions, and man, he's very small. It's scary to watch Tua continue to go over his NFL career. I'm gonna be honest with you, but they were flying with him out there when he was healthy last year. They looked pretty good, man, and they lost Jalen Ramsey early on in the process, in the off season. I think he tore his ACL, right, or something like that. And then they're going against the Chargers, which every year they're great on paper, and they just can't get it done. I think the Miami Dolphins are better coached than the Chargers, but I'm gonna let you take this over real quick. So what you got? The over?
Bro, listen, man. I'm gonna go with the over. I think this is gonna be a high scoring affair. You got two young quarterbacks who are accurate. They could put the ball. You got very, very talented rosters. Yep. Thing is that people talk about a lot of the defensive additions that the Miami Dolphins made, but the biggest defensive addition that they've had is Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio has historically had Justin Herbert's number. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be real with you, man. This defense carried the Dolphins team in the last few years, and Vic Fangio is probably the guy that's responsible for most of the schemes that are running in it. Like 66% of the schemes are Vic Fangio. Kind of inspired scheme in the National Football League. You got to go with the Miami Dolphins here. You got to go with the Dolphins here.
They made some nice moves. Even without Jalen Ramsey, they have one of the best DB rooms in the NFL. They still have Xavier Howard. They got Deshaun Elliott, Javon Holland, a guy that you already know how I felt.
And look, they traded for Bradley Chubb.
They went and got Kelvin Joseph as well, another guy from the Cowboys. Kelvin Joseph that I liked a lot coming out of Kentucky. But go ahead, my brother.
And what's going to happen is you're going to have a defensive punch that equals the offensive punch that they had last year with Tua Tagovailoa. When Tua was on the field, the Dolphins were one of the best offenses in football. Yeah. They're going to be explosive. They're going to have their explosive playmakers on defense, even without Jalen Ramsey. Mm-hmm. And LA's home field advantage won't play much of a factor in this, man.
No,
so
not at all.
I'm going to be honest with you. They really don't have a home field advantage, and they have probably the lesser of the two coaches. Yeah. With McDaniel, over that bum that they got. Yeah. He's a terrible coach, man. I got the Dolphins winning this, and I got them winning this probably by 2 touchdowns, and I have them covering the over because both of these teams can score.
One question mark I have with Miami is Christian Wilkins, a guy that wants a new deal right now. His deal's, he's kind of up in the air right now, but he's questionable. I think he will play. I like what they have on the offensive side of the ball. The run game is kind of questionable. They have Raheem Mostert. They have Jeff Wilson, who's on the IR. That running back room is very questionable. They were in talks with Dalvin Cook to come home to Miami. That run game's not going to be there, but look, man, they got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. You know what I'm saying? And then they got Cedric Wilson Jr., which is a sneaky option at the wide receiver position. Their O-line got better this offseason.
And I see a heap of help in the throwing the football. I think both teams are going to be throwing the football around heavy. And that's the reason why I got the over, and that's the reason why I got the Dolphins being the road, the road dogs and taking it.
The Chargers, I love that O-line. I hate to say it because I hate the Chargers. They have one of the best O-lines to me when they're healthy in the NFL. They had a nice little draft this past season as well. They went and got Q out of TCU. He's going to be a guy for him. He will be that guy for him in case Keenan Allen goes down, which he always does. They still got Mike Williams. They got Josh Palmer, which played really well for them last season as well. Austin Eckler is someone to keep an eye on. He's been very unhappy with that organization, trying to get a new deal and all that other stuff. He's very active for them in the passing game as well. But what is the over and under on this one, bro? It's 51.
It's 51.
I'm gonna take the over. This is gonna be a high scoring game. I could see like a 38-31 or 38-35 type of game. Definitely gonna take the over. And I got the Dolphins beating the Chargers.
Yeah, keep in mind though. Keep in mind the win rate for Eastern teams going west is 43.6%. I think this is one of the times where, you know, sometimes the bear gets you, or sometimes you get the bear. I think we're going to get the bear on this one. I think that East Coast team going west, being that it's week 1, they're probably going to get out there a little early, and they're going to get acclimated to that West Coast time zone. I think the Dolphins are going to win this game.
Okay. I like that. We're Raider fans, so we're taking the Dolphins over the Chargers all the time. Right here, we got a few more games, you guys. The Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants. This is going to be a really good game. Both teams coming off playoff berths last season. The over-under is 46 right now. They got the Giants +3, Cowboys -3. I'm going to let you take this one over right here, Wasted. What you got for us in terms of the over-under with these two teams?
You know, look, I got the Giants and the Cowboys covering the 46 points. You know what I mean? Okay. This is the Giants' home opener. Saquon Barkley is ready to roll. The Giants went 1-2 in the preseason. You know what I mean? Culminating that game against the Jets. You know, but the thing is, I think this is the year that Daniel Jones makes his step forward. Okay. You know what I mean? The Giants really have built a really, really good roster. I think the Giants are going to be one of the surprise teams in the National Football League this year. You know, look, they had a playoff run last year. I think they're going to improve on that. Yeah. You can look for Dak Prescott to turn the ball over a few times, would have probably lead to some points. And I got the Giants actually winning at home.
Me too. Waller has been looking good.
Jalen Hyatt is looking really good. Waller's looking really good.
Waller's been looking good. Hyatt has been a breath of fresh air for that offense. The Giants are going to put up a lot of points. I do believe that. I like what Dallas did. They paid their offensive lineman. You know, they just paid Sampson, I believe, a shit ton of money. They finally paid their guard, Zach Moore, which deserved every penny for it. I like the defense that they got over there in Dallas, though. Like, it's going to be very hard to throw the ball against those DBs. You know what I mean? They got Diggs, they got Gilmore. I like their linebacking core. They have some nice defensive linemen as well, but I just think the Giants have too much firepower. I like the ball. I think they have the better head coach in this battle. You know what I mean? I
definitely do. And they also have another caveat. You know, Daniel Jones, who I call Vanilla Vic, is a guy who is not afraid to tuck that football and run and break down the defense. So if you get that blanket coverage from the Dallas Cowboys, you have to always be mindful of Daniel Jones breaking out into the flat. And to be honest with you, Trayvon Diggs is a guy who, yes, he intercepts the football a lot, but he gives up a lot of big plays, and he's not the best tackler. I got the New York Giants winning this.
Yeah, and keep an eye on Tony Pollard, you guys. He's coming off of a very bad injury as well. They're gonna rely heavily on him with letting Zeke walk. They got Deuce Vaughn, a guy out of KU that they're pretty high on as well. But I got the Giants. I think the Giants are going to be the better team. Like you said, this is going to be a surprising team. And if Waller can stay healthy for the Giants, bro, they can have a big, big year out there in the New Jersey, New York area, man.
And to be real with you, you know, Darren Waller has always been a guy who has historically been banged up, but it normally happens towards the middle of the season. This is the first game of the season. You're going to get the best of Darren Waller today.
Yep. Let's get one more game in, you guys, and we're going to end this with some Raiders talk and get you guys involved as well. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. I know we've been kind of staying away from the chat, but we appreciate you guys so much for being with us. We wanted to kind of get our shit off a little bit before we got to the chat. So stay tuned. We're going to talk some Raiders football right after this last one. We'll do some over and unders with the Raiders as well. So give us a few more minutes. Last game, Monday Night Football. This one could be the best game of week 1, actually, right here. The Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets. This is Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen. This could be one of them ones, bro. We got the Cook brothers, James Cook versus Dalvin Cook. You know what I'm saying? Like this, there's a lot to look at in terms of this game. The over-under is 46.5. I'm going to be honest. I'm going over immediately. I think that this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think Garrett Wilson's going to ball. I think that Diggs is going to ball. I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to want to show Josh Allen, I'm still that guy. And Josh Allen is going to want to show Aaron Rodgers, I'm the new dude. Get you the fuck out of here. This is going to be a high-scoring shootout. I'm taking the over on this, and I got Buffalo, surprisingly, beating the Jets I don't even want to say surprisingly, but beating them in Jersey. What do you got right here, man? And they got the Buffalo -2.5.
Man, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the over in points, and I'm gonna take the home dogs. I'm gonna take the New York Jets.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the New York Jets in this, man. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna have his coming out party. I think Salah and that defense have a point to prove, man.
Yep.
Quinnen Williams and those guys, Sauce Gardner and those guys are gonna get loose. And listen, the one thing that nobody's talking about in the National Football League is the regression of Josh Allen since Brian DeBall has left. Josh Allen is on a road to nowhere. I don't think the Buffalo Bills are going to be as good as everyone thinks this year. I think the Jets are going to supplant them in the AFC East and win that division.
Okay. So there you have it, you guys, on this upcoming week. All the games, betting odds, and all that good stuff. What else we got, Wade? So we wanted to talk about that other side as well.
Yes. What we want to do is, let's do some prop bets for all you sick puppies out there. Okay. Some of our Raiders, man.
I'm going to share this real fast. Let's go to prop bets. Boom. Where do you want to go? We're going to go to NFL.
NFL, we do some running back prop bets for our Raiders, man.
All right, let's go to where do they go by position?
And they go NFL.
Yeah, they got quarterbacks right here.
Yeah, just go up to the road, scroll up to the top and switch it.
Okay, let me see. Player props.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, let's do this. We're going to only do Raiders right here, you guys. So stay tuned for that.
And then we'll read the chat and market type, 8 players, blah, 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 blah. You still got it at quarterback, bro.
I'm trying to figure this shit out. Hold on. Market type. Is it only QBs right here?
On a phone, the layout looks
right here.
Yeah, running backs right there. You got 4 props. So let's find some of our guys down there.
Yeah, we'll just keep it moving. We'll find our guys. Why would they have Devontae and Josh so low? They're doing it by okay. I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Salute to everybody, man, for their patience. Appreciate
sorry, we haven't really been able to get to some of the super chats. While Graphk is looking for this, I'm gonna look at some of the chats that we might have neglected. We're gonna go back. I don't know if I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, but Kenny Mack. Thanks, Graphk and Wasted, for definitely providing quality content to get me through my extra shift. Salute. My guy, Mongol Raider, with the 199 super. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. My guy, Demokes. What's up, nation? I'm drinking the hype drink. We winning the Super Bowl. Let's go. Graphk already read Perk Angles. My guy, Soul Assassin. You guys going live for your fantasy draft. Graphk read that one before, but I'm still going to reread it anyway. Yes, we might. I don't know if I even want to play fantasy football. They haven't sold me on it. Sometimes I have diva-like tendencies. So I don't want to play fantasy football. But just because my bros are playing, we might go on ahead. I'm going to jump in there. In my fantasy league, I pick at 10 out of the 12 in the first round. What's a great pick and what's a good Gruden pick? You know what? That's as good a time as any, man. Hey, man. Hey, man, you want to pick somebody to win your fantasy league, man? Go with Henry Ruggs, man. Let me tell you something, man. Henry, how did you go wrong, man? This side of Tyreek Hill, man. I mean, he's faster than Henry Ruggs, man, in the National Football League. I got him scoring 20 touchdowns this year, JR.
I'll tell you right now, man, he's gonna be getting a lot of rushing yards where he is. And
somebody might touch down in his ass.
He's definitely gonna get a lot of receiving yards as well.
Oh no, man.
He may have to carry a lot.
I don't know, man.
Where he is. So,
man, I don't know, man. We don't want to get into that, man. But hey, man, also Nathan Peterman, man. Man. I'm telling you something, man.
The next best thing smoking right there, man. Nathan Peterman.
Man. Hey, sometimes I struggle and I say, hey, man, maybe Patrick Mahomes, man, but now I got to go Nathan Peterman, man. I mean, what do you think, Graphk?
I think you're high on drugs, brother.
I think I am too, man. Shout out to you. Knock on wood if you're with me, man. Hey, if you're gonna pick 10th, you got to go best player available, man. So a lot of times it depends on how savvy the guys are in your league. You can always look for that outlier of a guy who tries to stockpile running backs. There are not a lot of great running backs. So if you're picking at 10, you're probably going to look at and I'm going to be for real. Let me take this off. If you're picking 10th in your league, you got to go best player available, best offensive player available. I sometimes you might be in a position where you might have to take a Patrick Mahomes because, and I don't ever like taking quarterbacks first, but, you're going to be in that position where you're going to have to take wide receiver, because you're going to go back around if it's a snake draft and you're going to be one of the first picks in the next draft. So you go wide receiver. You might want to double dip at wide receiver there. And try
real quick, I want to ask you this before we do this real fast. The over-under in Las Vegas, right? And I'm not going to share this on the screen. I'm just going to read it out real quick. And I want everybody else to also, and I know what everybody's going to say, but this right here is online sports book, okay? At BetMGM, you guys, all right? This is the over-under wins, total wins for the AFC West, okay? They have the Chiefs at 11.5.
Sounds fair.
It does. Actually, it actually sounds perfect.
That's right on the money.
Yeah, right on the money.
Vegas is very rarely wrong too.
Yeah, Chargers 9.5. That sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Broncos 8.5. I disagree.
Yes, I think that is where the total takes a shit. I think they're going to probably win at the most 6 games this year.
And they got us at 6.5.
I think they're totally wrong. I have us at 9 wins. Not, at the low 9 wins.
I'm taking over. We're not. There's no way we get 6.5.
Yeah, no way.
All right, there you go, right here, Wasted. It's your first player, man. I want you to take over right here. We got Davante Adams, superstar wide receiver, receiving yards over and under right here. Go ahead and read this for the chat. Let them know what we're looking at.
All right, receiving yards. It's nil. The over is 79.5 in the first game of the season. The under is under 79.5. I got Davante Adams going over. You know that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to make it his business the same way Derek Carr did was to go early and often to Davante Adams. Davante Adams is one of those guys who is a Hall of Fame player. He always plays to the back of his baseball card. He's going to get open.
I want to ask you this real quick. I got some homework for you real quick. Type something up for me if you can.
Sure.
What did Davante Adams have against Patrick Surtain last year? Both games. Remember, he wasn't ready. He's not ready. I want to see what Davante did last season against the Denver Broncos. Both games. And then we can go from there. But I think this is a game where they're gonna rely heavily on
he had 101 yards against Patrick Surtain. And he only he caught 4 of his 8 targets for 46 yards against Surtain the second game.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna be honest. I would love for Davante to go over here. It kind of sounds as though this is kind of where he's going to be. I think Jimmy G is going to attack Michael Mayer, Austin Hooper a lot in this game. I think the tight end's going to see the rock a lot. I surprisingly think that Hunter Renfrow is going to be a huge security blanket for Jimmy G. He's been speaking highly on him a lot lately as well. Hunter's going to get his issue. I'm going to go. I'm going to take the over, but it's going to be around it's not what everybody thinks. I think it's going to be like 80, 85 yards for Davante Adams.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He plays at the back of his baseball card. The first game he had 100 receiving yards. Second game he had 46 yards. I don't see Davante Adams having that kind of a game. I think the 46-yard game was more of an indictment on Derek than it was on Davante. I just feel like Davante Adams is a guy who he's going to get his 9 catches. He's going to get his 80 to 90 yards. He's going to score his touchdown in this game. If we're going to win big, Davante Adams is going to get open. He's going to score.
Over or under? You got the over?
I got the over.
Me as well. Now, what is the player to score a touchdown minus 110? What is that? What does that even mean? Do you know?
That means that you have to bet $110.
Got you.
Davante Adams is going to score a touchdown. So I have Davante Adams covering on that too. All
right, let me try and find Josh here, you guys. We'll talk about it. They got Amir Abdullah right there. Let me see.
Yeah, I think because Josh is out and
he's up in the air. Yeah. All right. Let me see if they have Josh on here. If they don't,
it's gonna be happy trails on that.
Yeah, Brandon
Bolden, high stakes.
DeAndre Carter's there. Well, you know what? He's a Raider. Let's check it out. There's a prop on him. Let's see. What the hell am I looking at?
Yo, man, my God, projected to score a touchdown. Yo, it's plus 800 if he scores a touchdown. I don't know what the wager is for $100. So if
Okay.
you wager $100, if DeAndre Carter scores, you win 800. Listen, I think that's a sucker's bet. I don't think Carter's going to score a touchdown in the week 1.
I wouldn't be shocked though. Josh McDaniels likes to spread the ball around. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at.
Yeah, bro. Look, man. Look, I don't see him scoring a touchdown. I see him being a factor in the return game, but I don't see him returning and kicking this game.
Okay, let me see. Let me see if you just pull up Josh Jacobs. Let me see if I can just type in players. This thing right here, man. They made this website terrible, bro.
Yeah, you know what it is? You see that big upgrade button right there, bro?
Yeah.
I bet you when you upgrade, it's a whole lot better.
That's where they get you. Huh? That's where they get you.
Yeah, man. But we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
You got Hooper. They got Horsted.
Okay. One prop.
All right, let's see what the one prop with Josh is real quick.
Okay. You got you listen. So you got to wager $100. You got to wager $100 to win $110. But Josh Jacobs, listen, man. For him to score a touchdown, listen, it's probably almost a definite he's going to score a touchdown.
Yes, definite.
So this is not a prop bet. This is one I would kind of stay away from. You're not making a whole lot of money. You got to put out $100 for it. Yeah, I'm cool on it. I would stay away from this one.
So you put up 100 to win 10?
To win 110.
That's what I mean. So you get 10 on top of your.
Nah.
It was like pretty much the short thing. They're like, come on, go ahead and put your 100 up and and go ahead and get you a bag of chips and a Slurpee from 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Okay. All right. Say less. All right. Let's see I want to see if Hunter's on here though. Let me see if Hunter's on here. You know what? I'm not even gonna do this because this upgrade shit is crazy. So
yeah, bro. Yeah,
we'll keep
let's get into the chat. Let's get into the chat, bro. We are off the gambling stuff right now. This is something that we don't normally do. This is something that we are going to keep doing though.
Yeah, I'm learning on the fly. I like it. This is actually fun. This is actually really cool, man. Shout out to Henry says, I have the full betting pros, brothers. Oh, bro, where's it at? Shout out to Big Mike said, talking prop bets. Shit, I'm in. Hey, man. we might have to do a Shieldmore show just like this then and really just break all this down. I would love.
Well, yeah, that's what we're kind of opening up. We're opening up the doors for that kind of stuff now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We know Hammer and Big Mike love to do this stuff. Yeah. And we're definitely going to start doing this also, you guys, over at PlanetRaiders.com. So stay tuned for that. We want to separate our website from a lot of others, and we want to start doing some of the betting stuff and all that other stuff. So stay tuned for that. We're working on it. It's a lot for us. As active as we are, you guys, on YouTube and in Vegas and stuff, it's very, very tough to update the website every day. So thank you guys for, supporting us and everything. We're definitely going to show some more tender love and care to PlanetRaiders.com. So stay tuned for that. Let me see. I think we win 24-21 Carlson game winner. I don't want it to come down to that, Tyler. I don't. I don't think that Denver they're hurting right now, brother. They're hurting right now. Orlando said, "Can I borrow $50K?" Salute.
Hey, bro. If I had your hand, I'd cut mine off, Orlando. You don't want all the money, bro.
No. There you go, bro. Salute to our dog, John Corrigan, man. Salute, Graphk and Wasted, man. My brother, man. Salute to my guy. Get your questions in, y'all. Let's talk a little football before we get out of here. We're coming up on 2 hours. Shout out to our brother Mitch as well for coming on the show today and shooting that shit. Just talking football as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Let me see real quick.
Yeah, what do we got? Yo, Dan Teaser said I motioned like I was opening up butt cheeks. Listen, I don't make it my business of going around doing that, Dan. There's some nasty work in these streets, Dan. Don't get us canceled.
Big pause. Let me see. Shout out to In God We Trust. I love my Raider family. Raiders. Appreciate you, brother. What do you think Adam's stats are going to be? Tyler, we kind of just touched on that. I got a TD in about 85 yards.
Yeah, I got a TD in about 90 yards. Just a shade under 100 yards.
Same thing. Are LV going to have a better year defending the run? Martin, I hope so, but I'm going to be honest. And tell me what you think about this, Wasted. That is going to rely heavily on what Bilal Nichols does for us this year.
Yes, Bilal is a guy who, and I was going to get into this in the next, Raider Nation Unlimited. I think we'll go live tomorrow. When I get off, tomorrow. But I was going to get into this. He is one of the 5 key players. He's one of the 5 key players. I think we'll go live.
Yeah.
He definitely is. He's one of the 5 key players, man.
He's a two-way guy, can get to the quarterback here and there, can play the run. He better play the run this year because Tillery's not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, Tillery's more of a pass rushing defensive
Yeah.
tackle. You know what I mean? And some of the young guys, we really can't surmise what they're going to do. You know, Bilal Nichols is going to pay dividends. The free agents of years past are going to have to show up. He's one of the guys that if he doesn't have a good season, our season is going to go down the tubes. We're depending on him mightily.
And I want to see what Jay can do. You know what I mean? Hopefully Jay can help us in that run game as well. But Tillery's definitely not going to be that guy. Just like Wasted said, he's a guy that can get to the quarterback, more of a pass rusher type dude from the interior. I'm hoping Byron Young translates in year one as well. I do. I hope.
It's just hard for us to surmise what a rookie's going to do. You know, we're going off of a very, very small sample size with NJS, and we didn't really see a whole lot from Byron Young as a rookie. We saw him in college, but this is another game. We have to see how they translate on the field. I'd be able to surmise what they're doing, probably a little better after week 2 or 3.
Yeah. Bold take, 28-0, and we put Sean Payton's return in huge question. I like that, John. I hope it ends up like that. Let me see. Hopefully Nesta, and Young step up in the run game. They have to, man. And this regime, I know that they're putting a lot of pressure on these guys because they just pretty much sat both their DTs they drafted in year one gone.
One on the
practice squad.
Yeah, man.
So they have to hit on at least one of these guys this year because if not, man, we look really bad drafting defensive tackles up to this point. Can you imagine that way? So your first 4 guys you get as defensive tackle that you actually draft, not UDFAs, nothing like that. Draft are just not them guys. That's a tough pill to swallow, bro.
I mean, to be real with you, that is an epidemic around the National Football League. That's one of the hardest. That's one of the hardest positions to draft. That's why there's always a robust market for really good defensive tackles. Mm-hmm. It's a hard position to draft for, man. And there's only certain people that have a scheme and an eye for it. And we have to hope that our guys have that kind of eye, man.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to John, man. Did y'all watch that TC? Oh, my God. I loved every minute of it.
I loved every minute of it, man. It was one of the best college football games I've watched in a few years, man.
Yeah. You guys, let's not throw the whole narrative out there that TCU is not the same team they once were. And last year, Colorado went out there and balled out and beat them boys. It was a great game. The defense was suspect on both sides. Hunter, though, man, this dude is different. Play both sides of the ball. That dude is insane, bro.
He is the second coming of Charles Woodson is looking like.
Yes.
And to be real with you, Travis Hunter is the number one guy coming out. Deion Sanders got him to go to HBCU. He's bought in with Deion is teaching him, man. And you got a supreme talent with another guy that's a Hall of Famer, that knows how to coach and knows how to, get down to a level of young players. I think Hunter is going to be phenomenal, man. I think Sanders is listen. I have the Raiders drafting Shedeur Sanders.
I would love that.
I have them drafting him. People don't look at who has been a big influence on him, who's been coaching him behind the scenes, and one Mr. Tom Brady's. Now, this is the thing with Shedeur Sanders. They don't have a big sample size of him playing at this level of college football, so I don't think he's going to get taken at the top of the draft. He's the kind of guy that could get taken at 28, 27, 24 in the draft and be still there. I see Shedeur Sanders winding up as a Raider.
I would love it. But
early.
If he continues the ball the way he did, though, he's going to be a top 10 pick, bro.
Top 10, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks coming out this year, and that's the reason why.
Well, Drake may look kind of yesterday in North Carolina. They snuck through and got them a victory. Caleb Williams looks the part. He's balling. He looks crazy. Was it Penix out in Washington? He balled.
Bro, so I'm trying to tell you that this draft, you're going to have 5 first-round quarterbacks taken.
Milton, too. Milton in Tennessee was cooking, too.
Yeah, Joe Milton. Listen, this is a guy that I think Milton came from Michigan.
Michigan?
I think he did. Now Milton is a guy, bro, that is probably the most physically talented out of all of them. Milton.
No. Do not draft Jonathan Taylor unless you're just going to stash him. You're going to stash him for a little bit.
Ayers from Texas as well. You got a lot of guys that might go first. Now, if there's a run on quarterbacks, you see people moving up to draft. But I think Sanders, if he played, look, let's hope.
Bo Nix also, he put like almost a 70 piece up on Portland State, I believe, right? Out there in Oregon.
Yeah.
God, damn, bro.
Yeah, man. So listen, you got 5-6 guys, right? So you can be patient and get a quarterback in the 20s because you're going to have teams that are drafting with need. You have teams that, are going to stand pat and take their guy because they already have and located their quarterback. There's a few things that are going to happen this year. So just don't be surprised if Sanders winds up in the teens or the 20s and the Raiders move up and make a play to get him.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see. James Lillard says, what if a team like Washington tanks to get a QB because they need one? I'm going to be honest, man. I've heard everything that I've heard from the Commanders fan base and behind the scenes. I've heard that they're really high on Sam Howell. I think that they're really, really giving this guy the chance to win that QB1 situation. So I don't think that they're going out there in hopes of going to get a quarterback. I think they think Sam Howell's the guy.
Yeah.
So, did you watch Purdue versus Fresno State? I didn't, but I seen Fresno State won, and I definitely went and trolled Stu in our group chat, and he hasn't hit me back yet. I know he's definitely sad that Fresno State cooked Purdue yesterday. Oh, damn, 81-7. Okay, that was holy shit. I thought it was like 67, 70 points or something. God.
Yeah, but bro, like, look, man, some of these teams that they're playing are like JUCO teams, man. This is not a clear indication of what's going to happen. Once you start getting into your conference schedule, that'll give you the clear indication of how these guys really are.
Once I got through with our Notre Dame kicking Tennessee State's ass, I kind of fell off the college football globe and I started watching Payback, did some WWE shit, but I kind of went back last night and kind of checked the highlights out of a lot of these games. I was impressed, man. This upcoming draft is going to be great. Wait, there's going to be there's a lot of talent. And
every draft Detroit this year?
What is it? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we're definitely not going. I know you want to go because you got family out there. I definitely don't want to go to Detroit. And I know you're going to fucking convince everybody to go to Detroit.
Hey, man, look, you guys said no about Kansas City, bro. Come on, what's up with Detroit? Hey, we're gonna get some Detroit pizza, man. Like I spent a lot of Thanksgivings in Detroit, bro. I love that area, bro. They got some fire ass food. Take you guys to Greektown. That shit be lit, bro. Detroit's fire, bro. Detroit is fire. Just don't
we all checked out on Kansas City, bro. We're like, fuck that. I
understand that, but just don't go anywhere near the east or west side in Detroit. We good, bro. We're good to go. We just keep it centralized.
I'm not worried about the street aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just boring.
Shit, you should. Hey, look, we both from the hood, and we not going to any of them hoods.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, I'm not. Listen, bro. Listen, I'm hood enough to know where to go and where not to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts. Shout out to my dog Fly, man. What's good, fellas? Peace from Long Beach. Shout out to the LBC. Shout out to my dog, man. Appreciate you on the $2 donation. Let me see. Let's talk all this football. Make you forget the Angels are the most talented, absolutely garbage ML team in history. As an A's fan, I agree with you, brother. I love it. Let me see, man. KC's barbecue is foul. Salute to John. He's stupid. Sean put linebacker Tommy Eichenberg and linebacker Jeremiah Trotter.
Both
Jr.
beasts.
Very good coverage linebacker. Sean with the facts plus tax.
Yeah, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., I don't know about him being a great coverage linebacker at the next level. In college, he's doing all right.
Let me see. Wasted. It's going to be running miles in Detroit. Shout out to Orlando. With that being said, man, what's up, man? You got anything else for us, man, before we get out of here, bro?
Listen, I think there's enough content.
For the content.
Hey, we got to get back after it, man. We back at y'all this year, though, man. It's going to be a Shillmore takeover as usual, man.
As usual. I'm going to go outside and throw the ball around with my son. Finally feeling better. Get out there.
I got to go take my kids to the Italian festival. I got to drop my girls off at the Italian festival.
There you have it, man. Salute to my brother Wasted. Salute to our brother Mitchell Renz for popping in, man, and going live with us and doing this great show. Shout out to the chat, man. We appreciate you guys. I will be back with a coffee and convo tomorrow. I know Waste is going to be back with another great show over on his channel as well. Until then, PlanetRaiders.com. Go get you as much Raider content as you can over there. OakLosVegas.com. Go grab some gear. And other than that, man, become members of both channels. You guys are going to be doing a lot of giveaways for the members. And I actually got something that I'm working on behind the scenes. I don't know if a lot of people are going to be interested in this, but I'm kind of going on this new journey. Me and my wife agreed to do this, right? And I want to see, I'm going to put it into the universe here soon. I want to see if maybe I can do like a members only show type. I'll reveal it soon. I want to do something special for the nation, something different that I know a lot of people are not doing in terms of content. And I think it would be great because I know a lot of people. We'll talk about it later. Yeah. Salute everybody here in the building, man. Appreciate y'all as always. We are outro one. That content.
Oh, yes.
That content.